Hello, this is Crash Course U.S. History, and today we'll be talking about the Afghan War.
The Afghan War was one of the most costly wars in history, lasting from 2001 till present day.
Mr. Torres, Mr. Terry, I thought we called off the war in 2014 when Barack Obama and NATO announced that it was all over.
That is true, but in the case we are still trying to combat terrorism in the Middle East. There are thousands of people still in Afghanistan, some being, for example, the Afghan National Security Force, who will be there until 2017.
There are many reasons that led up to the Afghan War, one of them being the terrorist attacks against the United States, including 9/11.
Most people don't know the World Trade Center was not the only place for targeting during the 9/11 attack. It was also the capital.
The September attacks ultimately led to new awareness in the government.
This consisted of new security measures on American travel, the government regulating a new alteration on immigrant policies, and changed the way how foreign nations would interact through trade and national banking.
Very interesting, Noah. This instilled a constant fear and uneasiness in the people. Therefore, the Patriot Act of 2001 was established, increasing the ability of law enforcement agencies to search any foreign media communication and any records such as
This consisted of new security measures on American travel, the government regulating a new alteration on immigration policies, and changed the way how foreign nations would interact through trade and international banking.
Very interesting, Noah. This instilled a constant fear and uneasiness in people. Therefore, the Patriot Act of 2001 was established the war on terror was solely based to end the Taliban regime in Afghanistan, bringing together a resistance organized to overthrow the Afghan government, but ultimately failed to capture bin Laden, the leader of the Taliban group, and any other leaders.
The Taliban longed to persevere its orthodoxy for as long as they lived, until bin Laden was shot and killed on May 2nd in 2011 in Abbottabad, Afghanistan.
But obviously killing the leader was not the hopeful end for the war.
In all, there were around 3,500 American casualties and 23,000 Americans wounded.
Yet it is estimated that 17,000 to 20,000 civilians were killed, topping that both of the contractors and contracted. But there wasn't much resolve in the end for the government, but instead of keeping terrorism at arrest against the United States.
On the 2nd of May 2012, President Karzai and Obama signed a strategic partnership agreement between the two countries. After the U.S. president had arrived and announced in Kabul on the first anniversary of Osama bin Laden's death, and it went into effect on the 4th of July, 2012.
Wait, then what's the point of keeping thousands of troops in Afghanistan after we disabled the Taliban regime and formed a partnership?
There was still some form of anxiety towards the United States government that terrorism would still exist if they didn't keep guards involved, but are gradually handling it in Afghan troops and police. The United States sure can be a bit selfish.
That is correct. This has led to public wanting to get less and less involved in the war and conflict, being the police of the world.
Nice, Noah. This can still be reflected when people revolt against going to war with Syria after gassing their citizens in 2013.
And that's it for Crash Course U.S. History today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that clicked.
Well, wait, Mr. Torres, Mr. Terry, I thought we announced the war was over in 2014 when Barack Obama and NATO and...
That is true, but in the case we are still trying to combat counterterrorism, that doesn't make any sense. It's supposed to be terrorism. In Afghanistan, or in the case...
Stop.
True, but that is the case. Most people aren't aware that the 9/11 attacks, in the case of the Afghan National Security Force, they will be there until 2017.
There are many reasons that...